the final day of Buddhist Lent, anniversary of the day the Lord Buddha made all realms visible to one another. The materials which are to be laid before you in this presentation are related to the phenomenon of Naga fireballs, which appear once a year floating up from the center of the Mekong River, which runs along the border of Thailand and Laos. These fireballs are the way a Naga serpent which lives beneath the bed of the Mekong River pays homage to the Lord Buddha. The Naga itself has been inspired to strive for Buddhahood because 2,500 years ago, on the final day of Buddhist Lent, an incident otherwise known as Devo Rohana, it had witnessed a miracle performed by our previous Buddha when he descended from the second level of heaven to earth on a heavenly staircase and caused the beings of all 31 cosmological realms to become visible to one another. Because Nagas have very long lifespans, this Naga was one of the beings there on that day 2,500 years ago to witness the miracle. Not all those there witnessed the miracle with the same clarity. Some witnessed more or less of the spectacle, in proportion to the degree of their faith in the Buddha and their previous merit. However, it was not every person in the world who was able to witness this miracle. It was only those people endowed with sufficient merit, who happened to be in a town called Sangassa, 30 leagues from Savatthi in India. Only those within 36 leagues of Sangassa could watch the incident. Amongst those present on that day, there were some who had faith in the Lord Buddha, some who felt indifferent to the Lord Buddha, and those who were against the Buddha. It was only those inspired with faith in the Buddha who were able to witness the spectacle clearly. Those who felt indifferent were limited as to what they could see. Those who were against the Buddha may or not have been able to see anything at all. As the Buddha descended the heavenly staircase in the mid-morning, those beings endowed with an astral body and a heavenly eye, rather than merely a physical human body and the naked eye, were able to see the full extent of the Buddha's miracle without any effort, even though elsewhere. But human beings with their limited perceptions needed to be in the locality of Sangassa, because it was situated on a hilltop with a view over the surrounding countryside. It was at this point that the Emperor Asoka erected a pillar and a pagoda to mark the spot where the Lord Buddha came to earth on that day as he descended from the second level of heaven. Supposing we were located on the Rose-Apple continent, the cosmic continent where our own human realm is located, we would see Mount Sumeru, sometimes referred to as Mount Sumeru, as the central axis to the cosmos. The summit of this mountain is the second level of heaven, and the shoulder of the mountain is the first level of heaven. The green-colored terraces which you can see are the 7 concentric mountain ranges, each with lakes filling the valleys between them. The mountain ranges get progressively taller as you work your way inwards. Each mountain range is identified by its own name. Beneath Mount Sumeru there is an array of 3 mountains. The inner valley at the center of the 3 mountains is the realm of the Titans or Asura. Note, these are not asurakaya, which are altogether different, and they are governed by a chieftain called Wepatiti, once having been cast down here from the second level of heaven, after having become drunk on celestial alcohol. The outer valleys on the foot of the 3 mountains are the realm of the hungry ghosts and monsters, the detail of which we will follow up later. Beneath these, the various levels of hell proper are located with 8 major hells, their satellite hells, and the corresponding purgatories, a total of 456 hells in all. Above Mount Sumeru, the higher levels of heaven, from the 3rd level up to the 6th, are located one above the next. If you were to view the realms of the cosmos in side elevation, as you would see it from Sangassa, you would be able to see the human realm, the heaven realms, and the hell realms. The red line which you can see extending now is the staircase descending from the second level of heaven down to Sangassa in the human realm. There were 3 parallel staircases extended on that day. The middle one was a crystal staircase which was for the Lord Buddha. The left one was of silver for the Brahmas, while the right one was of gold for the angels. On that day the sky was not as blue as it normally is, but transparent. There were no clouds. The sky became like a parabolic screen of an IMAX amphitheater. The transformation occurred temporarily through the grace of the Lord Buddha. People on earth were able to see the heavens above them. This diagram shows the comparative size of the buildings in the different levels of heaven. Don't go thinking that these are the heavenly mansions. In fact, they are just gazebos in the garden of the mansions. In fact, they are to the heavenly mansions as a spirit house might be to a house in the human realm. At the bottom of the diagram are buildings of the first level of heaven, where they are small and non-uniform, in keeping with the non-uniformity of merit of beings on this level. The higher the level of heaven, the larger and more beautiful the buildings become, and the larger the distances separating one from the next, again in accordance with the greater merit and physical size of the beings reborn there. Angels from all levels of heaven came to show their respect to the Lord Buddha on that day, with the leader of each chapter of angels standing beneath an honorific parasol in front of his subordinates. The parasol remains suspended in mid-air above him through the power of his merit. Here are the angelic host, who are his retinue, holding bouquets of flowers or with their hands in a gesture of prayer. Here we see a cross-section through the 3 mountains at the base of Mount Sumeru. At the center we see the realm of the Titans. They are a kind of angel, but they are less attractive even than the angels at the first level of heaven. They were cast down here by Indra, the king of the second level of heaven, after having become drunk on celestial alcohol in the Deva-Asura war. Thus, they ended up in this huge valley between the 3 mountains. These are the locations of the summits of the 3 mountains. The outer valleys at the foot of the 3 mountains are the realms of the hungry ghosts or peta, and monsters, asurakaya. Here again is the Titan or Asura realm. Down here, at the foot of the mountains, are the hungry ghosts and monsters. It is seething with beings in suffering and engulfed by flame. It is bounded by an impenetrable wall, not to keep others out, but to keep the suffering beings inside. Here we see a close-up of the hungry ghost and monster realm. Really it is more crowded with hungry ghosts than this, but they are singled out in the image for clarity. Again you can see the non-uniformity of the hungry ghosts, and the ways in which they undergo their suffering. This is an isometric view of the Titan realm, and because they are angels, their mansions are visible throughout the realm, which is rather like a mountain plateau. The strange thing about the view people had on that day was that they were able to see even distant things with the same clarity as things close at hand, as if seen with a telescope, again to the grace of the Lord Buddha. Wherever a person looked, the view became a close-up for them, to a degree depending on each person's level of merit. People on earth were able to see the hell realms beneath their feet. Supposing we were to take the 5th level of hell as an example, here we see a bird's-eye view of the 5th level of major hell. However, from inside, the spherical shape of the realm makes the sky look like a parabola. Inside, all the beings undergo retribution for having drunk alcohol. However, the fires of hell were quenched temporarily on that day by the Lord Buddha's grace.
Have faith in him, pay homage through 5 balls. Pay homage to Lord Buddha. Pay homage to Lord Buddha.
The radiance of the Lord Buddha was apparent even in the darkness of the hell realms. The hell realms could be seen in close-up to people looking down there, to a degree proportional to their individual merit. Supposing our point of view is that of beings in the hell realms. Supposing we were to look upwards from the hell realms with a line of sight following the white arrows in the diagram. Supposing we were to look up from the satellite hells, we would have to look through the major hell realms and the purgatories to see the Lord Buddha and the angels descending from heaven. From the purgatories, one's view would be unobstructed. If you were to look at the Titan, hungry ghost and monster realms from the major hells, this is what you would see, with a line of sight following the arrow. If you look upwards from the major hell realms at the satellite hells and the purgatories, this is what you would see. The major hells would be black in color. The satellite hells would be grey in color, while the purgatories would be given a reddish hue by the flames of the fires inside. If the victims inside the satellite hells looked upwards, they would see the purgatories. Each sphere is a realm of its own, but we haven't examined the detail inside as yet. There is a set of 4 satellite hells at the side of each major hell, and beyond that, in each direction, 2 sets of 5 purgatories to each side. Looking up from the major hells, one would see the purgatories of the level of hell above. There are a total of 40 purgatories for each level of hell.
Thinking of good deeds and purifying to 5 balls to the sky. Bang Fai Prayanaka, Bang Fai Prayanaka. Since Lord Buddha proceeded from Savatthi.
Looking at the detail of each purgatory, we would see the outer door, the courtyard in front of the courthouse itself, a ring road giving access to different doors of rebirth, and the area where suffering is inflicted on the beings using up their retribution there. All this is enclosed in a sphere. Looking upwards from the hell realms, one would see the base of the 3 mountains, with the realm of the Titans in the center, and the realms of the hungry ghosts and monsters along the edges, and the base of the 3 mountains. Supposing we were in the realm of the hungry ghosts, or the realm of the Titans, and we were to look down, we would be able to see the 8 levels of hell nested concentrically, with the smaller realms at the top. Here we explode the view, rebuilding it with the major hells and the satellite hells and purgatories in top view. The topmost level of hell is the place where beings undergo retribution for having killed or tortured other living beings. Looking upwards from the hell realms, one would see the human realm from beneath, filled with row upon row of people, as if the earth they were standing on were transparent. The amount of detail they could see of the human realm depended on which level of hell they were in. At the moment the Lord Buddha descended from heaven, the fires of all 456 sectors of hell were quenched temporarily, and were replaced by illumination from the Buddha's radiance, allowing all the beings in hell to see each other and the procession of the Lord Buddha.
Pay homage to the Triple-Gem, and you will see Bang Fai Prayanaka.
they were able to see the people of Sangassa as if looking straight through the earth. They were able to see the king and the queen and their retinue. This is the view those in hell would have of the Buddha descending from heaven in procession. From this point of view, those standing in front are in fact behind the Buddha. This is the more conventional view of the Buddha from the front, and here again from beneath. Panchasika and Matali are in fact behind the Buddha. In fact, the aura of the Buddha would engulf all the colors visible here. In fact, the Brahmas in the escort would be dressed in white. From beneath, this would be the view beings in hell would have of the angelic retinue. The view which angels in heaven would have would allow them to see the hell realms, and also the three mountains with their Titan, hungry ghost, and monster realms. The ground of the Titan realm becomes transparent in this view, allowing the angels to look all the way through to the 8 levels of the hell realms. The transparency is the result of angelic vision, together with the grace of the Lord Buddha. They were able to see both the hell realms and the mansions of the Titans. They were able to see the monster and hungry ghost realms, the satellite hells, and the purgatories too. The whole view has been condensed in this picture. Realms would disappear in the vision of the angels to reveal different parts of the cosmos as they looked at them. Angels would be able to see all 456 of the major hell realms, the satellite hells, and the purgatories.
Pay homage to Lord Buddha. Pay homage to Lord Buddha.
Pay homage to Lord Buddha. Pay homage to Lord Buddha.
If the angels wished to examine, say, the 5th level of hell in detail, they would see the volcanoes of black acid liquid. Looking at the satellite hells, these are the sorts of views the angels would have. Each satellite hell has its own identifying features. This is the view the angels would have of the purgatories, which are also enclosed in spheres, but with all the details, whether it is the walls, the courtyard, the courthouse, or the peripheral road.
Since Lord Buddha proceeded from Savatthi heaven, beyond Naga, have faith in him, pay homage through 5 balls.
The angels would also look down to see the lucky people of Sangassa on their hilltop, with smiles on their faces. This is the view the angels would have from behind the Buddha as he descends the staircase of gold, silver, and a rainbow of colored gems. One of the Brahmas is bearing an angelic, honorific parasol made of the blossom of a parijataka tree above the Buddha's head. Carrying a lute is Panchasika, the angel, and Matali, his charioteer. These are the male angels, seen from the back, and the female ones.
Pay homage to Lord Buddha.
Pay homage to Lord Buddha.
Once the Buddha reached the ground, in fact his aura would have engulfed everything in the picture. This is no ordinary incident. Anyone who was witness to it would have been inspired to become a Buddha themselves in the future. Even the Naga king, who was witness to the miraculous events caused by the grace of the Lord Buddha, was inspired himself to strive for Buddhahood. Accordingly, every Buddhist Lent or rainy season from that time onwards, the Naga king would take a vow to keep the precepts in a place beneath the riverbed of the Mekong River. By now, it is more than 2,500 times that the Naga king has done that. When it comes to the end of the Buddhist Lent, out of exhilaration for all the goodness he has amassed throughout the Buddhist Lent, The Naga king recollects the joy of seeing the Buddha descend from heaven in a procession of countless angels and Brahmas, and the amazement at being able to see all the realms of heaven and hell with the naked eye. The Naga king makes an offering of light in homage to the Lord Buddha by recollecting the merit of having kept the precepts for the entire length of the Buddhist Lent, and making a resolution that fireballs should arise as seen in the picture. When the fireballs rise out of the water, it doesn't even make a ripple on the river's surface. The bright fireballs shoot up into the sky.